No, y'all.
That's good.
Good evening, everyone. It is 6:30 p.m. on Thursday, June 18th. I'd like to call our regular city council meeting to order. We are located here in the council chambers at Kermit City Hall. If you don't mind, we'll stand to our pledges of allegiance, and Councilman Hayes can lead us in invocation at the time.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Let's pray. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we ask that you be with each and every one that is here tonight in attendance. We ask that you have your hand of guidance upon each of us, that decisions made will be for the betterment of our city, as well as for the benefits of our residents in our city. We ask that you keep your hand of healing upon the residents of Midland after the tragic incident that their city has suffered, as well as for the city of Odessa with the tragedy that they have suffered. We ask all of these things in your most precious name. Amen.
All right. Item 4 on the agenda is recognition of Juneteenth and its historical significance to the United States and to the state of Texas. I'm going to read the proclamation. Y'all bear with me. Recognizing Juneteenth and its historical significance to the United States and the state of Texas. Whereas Juneteenth commemorates June 19th, 1865, the day when Major General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas, and issued General Order Number 3, informing the enslaved African Americans that they were free, more than 2 years after the issuance of the Emancipation Proclamation by President Abraham Lincoln. And whereas Juneteenth represents a defining moment in American history and symbolizes the triumph of freedom, justice, and human dignity over the institution of slavery. And whereas the state of Texas was the first state in the nation to officially recognize Juneteenth as a state holiday, honoring its unique role in the history and legacy of emancipation. And whereas Juneteenth serves as an opportunity to reflect upon our nation's history, celebrate the progress made towards equality and civil rights, and recognize the contributions of African Americans to the cultural, economic, educational, and civic life of our communities. And whereas the observance of Juneteenth encourages all citizens to engage in meaningful dialogue, foster understanding, and promote unity while recognizing the ongoing pursuit of liberty and opportunity for all people. And whereas the city of Kermit values diversity, inclusion, and mutual respect and joins communities across Texas and the United States in commemorating this important day of remembrance and celebration. Now, therefore, I, David Holbrook, Mayor of the City of Kermit, Texas, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby proclaim June 19th, 2026 as Juneteenth Day in the City of Kermit and encourage all residents to observe this occasion by learning about its history, celebrating the principles of freedom and equality, and honoring the enduring contributions of African Americans in our community, state, and nation. And witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Kermit, Texas to be affixed on this 18th day of June, 2026. Thank you all. Public comments. Ms. Meyer, are you here? Opposed?
Okay, the city called on I'm sorry, Myra Oliva, 117 North Avenue D, Kermit, Texas. The city called my life's work trash. I'm here to tell you what they actually took. Good evening, everyone. My name is Myra Oliva. I stand before you tonight not as a statistic. I can never say that word, statistic. But as a person whose life has been changed forever in profound injustice and deep betrayal. Just recently, I lost my home. not to a natural disaster, not to a fire, but to a decision made by people in power who deemed my safe haven, my safe place, my entire life as trash. They passed judgment on me, on my belongings, on the place I poured my heart and soul into. How can anyone look at another person's home and declare it's worthless? How can they strip away everything someone has worked for, everything they hold dear, and then simply walk away? But there's another layer to this pain. The property I was on, the place I called home, was gonna call home, was promised to me by people I trusted. They told me they wanted me to have it. They gave me hope, and then when I needed them the most, they vanished. They stopped answering my calls, leaving me exposed vulnerably to the city's actions. And now, to add insult to injury, the very same people, have the property up for sale. Shame on them for putting me in a situation where this could happen, for their broken promises and their callous disregard for my life. My home wasn't just walls and roof; it was hard work and personal history. It was where I felt safe, where I belonged, and now it's gone. Everything I owned, everything that made up my world, was taken from me. And for what? Because some people decided it was okay to exercise power that feels utterly inhumane and unjust, and others stood by, or worse, actively betrayed me. I've tried to wrap my head around this. I've tried to understand how a city, or how people, can believe they have the right to do this. To say your home is trash, we're taking it away. Fundamental rights to shelter and dignity, it's not right and it's not fair. And it's a power no city should use without real care and being held responsible, especially when it's made worse by a personal betrayal. To the residents here tonight, I ask you to imagine yourselves in my shoes. Imagine losing everything you've built, everything you've cherished overnight by their order and by deceit. This isn't just about me, it's about all of us. And all of us watching at home right now. It could happen. If it's happened to me, it can happen to you. It's about the examples that the sets power we allow to be exercised over our lives and our property, and the trust we place into people. I urge you to demand accountability from our city officials, demand that they consider the immense power that they hold and how they use it. And remember, the personal responsibility and integrity matters. My home is gone, but my voice is not, and I will not be silent. Thank you. I did get my response yesterday.
You did. Okay, thank you. Council, she's on the agenda. Does anybody have anything y'all want to talk to her about or anything? All right, thank you. Anybody else? Oh, hello. Don't see you.
I'm Hope Williams. As many of you know, I'm a legislator for the Texas Silver Hair Legislature. And the reason I didn't come last month, which I'm sure you all were tickled to death, was the fact that I was in Austin with my group going through our resolutions. We approved 61 resolutions. And this one that I'm passing out to you is regarding a resolution that we're asking the legislature to kind of loosen up the restrictions on the hotel occupancy tax to where, and of course, to benefit older Texans, say recreational activities. That would mean like the county did the fitness equipment there at the park. The city could also do that at a city park. And if this passes, you could use some of your hotel motel money for that. Anyway, out of 81 resolutions, we approved 61. Those will go in a legislative report and it will be given each state representative, each senator in the state, as well as the lieutenant governor and the governor. Out of 900 resolutions that we have turned in, 275 have been turned into law. They pay attention to us because they do know we are a good-sized voting bloc. Anyway, I was hoping that would put a smile on Mike's face, but evidently nothing will.
Thanks a lot. So,
Good information.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate
We
that.
appreciate that. We definitely do.
Were there any other big highlights? Anything?
Well, we have
Don't a
another
lot of
one
time, but-
that, we are asking the state to take, they have a Medicaid fraud unit. Every year, they go after fraudsters. What they're doing with that money, in 2025, they collected $125 million in fraud. That money gets dumped into the general fund, needless to say. What we're asking is that they return that money back into the state Medicaid,
Where it came from.
where it came from. That also gives you an idea of what we have a surplus every year.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thanks for that update.
You're welcome.
Anybody else from the public? I'm sorry, I always forget to ask. Anyone else like to speak? Richard?
Not yet.
All right. Moving on, we are going to receive item number 6, receive a presentation from city staff regarding small things that matter in Kermit, which is in conjunction with our goals 1 through 6 that have previously been presented by city staff. So now
Now I can talk. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm Captain Richard Avalos. I'm here with Administrator Assistant Brittany Holguin. I have proudly served the city of Kermit over 26 years. I would like to thank each of you for your dedication to our community. Over the years, I've seen many positive changes in Kermit, and I appreciate all the work being done to make our city a better place. I really appreciate it. Our presentation is building a better Kermit together. All eyes on Kermit and little things that matter. Our purpose. These initiatives strengthen communication, improve services, and enhance the overall quality of life in Kermit. City employees, residents, city leadership, community partners. Our goal to create a proactive, responsive, and community-driven approach to city improvement. Program overview. 2 connected initiatives. Phase 1 is going to be all eyes on Kermit. Employees-driven initiative focused on identifying and addressing small issues early. Phase 2, little things matter. Resident and business-driven reporting system for community concerns. Together, awareness, reporting, and action. All eyes on Kermit, employees-focused initiative. All eyes on Kermit empowers every city employee to help identify small issues throughout the community before they become large problems. Employees across all departments make a difference. It's going to take all of us, public works, police, parks, finance, and administration. Then our core idea, every employee is an extra set of eyes for our community. And how it works, employees identify and report damaged or missing signs, trash, litter or weeds, playground or park concerns, lighting outages, minor repairs, faded markings, potholes. And the purpose is to increase early detection and faster response to community needs. impact of All Eyes on Kermit. Improved response time to issues, encourage ownership across departments, to strengthen employee pride and accountability, enhance overall city appearance, and the results are small improvements made consistently, create visible progress across the city.
Little Things Matter, community reporting initiative. Little Things Matter gives residents and businesses a simple way to report on small issues that impact daily life. This creates a direct connection between the community and city departments. Goal is to increase responsiveness, transparency, and trust. How it works. Residents and businesses can report through online reporting form, phone or text option, QR codes throughout the city. The common reports include potholes and sidewalk issues, broken benches or park equipment, trash and beautification, lighting, and signage, landscaping, or maintenance needs. Response and accountability. Small wins, big impact. Reports are tracked and assigned to your departments. Target completion timeframe, 5 to 10 business days. Service expectations are clear and measurable. Progress is monitored for accountability. The outcome is faster fixes and stronger public trust. Community impact. Little Things Matter supports key city goals. Quality of life improvements, infrastructure maintenance, safety enhancements, beautification efforts, transparency and accountability. Bottom line, small concerns handled quickly lead to long-term community improvement. Visible progress across Kermit, road improvements are already happening. Murals, dog parks, water wells, etc. Progress is already happening and continuing to grow. Together we make a difference. All Eyes on Kermit and Little Things Matter work together to create a stronger, safer, and more beautiful community. Awareness, communication, action, and community. Thank you for your continued support.
So the little breakdown that we've already started, so it kind of like, what the heck are they talking about? So right now, we're doing All Eyes on Kermit, but we're starting with the city employees. We're not gonna contact anybody, it's gonna be the city employees. We have an email already set up. If they see something, they will email it, and then she'll contact the department and say, hey, we need this pothole filled. Once we get it rolling, then we're gonna implement the council. And then after that, after we get it rolling smoother, then the citizens will be able to get on there and say, get on the QR code or send an email and say, hey, we got a pothole or there's a tree down. Then y'all will be able to, and then we'll be able to, hey, contact these, hey, we need this fixed or whatever. Any questions?
Can either one of y'all expand on something that maybe has been turned in from an employee? There was a small thing that,
So we just started it. We've had one, it was a stop sign,
okay,
but it was on the highway. And so we had to, I mean, there was a sign on the highway. We had to contact the tech stop.
okay, cool.
But so what we want to do is we're going to do initiative, I mean, like a gift card for the incentive of an employee, you know, he finds more stuff and calls it or sends emails, hey, $25 gift card, something, you know, to help out.
Do we have any QR codes out yet?
Huh?
You're gonna do that for the city?
If they want to.
Yeah, I can tell you that, there's several programs out there that you can download if you go, an example to the city of Midland, they've got See It.
See it, fix it.
Yeah, See It, Fix It, or Click It, See It, Click It, See It, Click It, Fix It.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And so, they roll it out to the citizens. So if they identify something, they can take a picture by downloading an app and take a picture, and the software is set up, the app is set up so it actually gives you a GPS coordinate. And so when it goes in and it hits the city department, as an example, they can scroll in and say pothole and hit the picture and just hit send. It'll immediately go to the street department and give them a pinpoint location of where it's at. Some of the other cities that I've seen that we're looking at trying to do is, once we get to that point, is that we have a turnaround. As an example, if someone to report a pothole, that we would try to get it field in less than 24 hours. And so that we can move to maintaining and getting to that point. If there's a tree limb or a tree has fallen, and it's reported, then we'll get people out there within 24 hours. So what we're looking at is trying to maintain the city and get out there as quickly as possible in order to show improvement within the city. And it's those little things that matter, the potholes that what you see, and then making sure that they're doing it correctly. Potholes are probably the largest thing that we can talk about, because it's the most evident and you can see it right away. But there are things that we're trying to do. Exactly, about the seal coat. Those are trying to extending the life of the streets. But it's the signs, it is noticing, and I'll tell you a real quick story. In a different city I was at, I had a sanitation driver, because he was up in the truck in the alley. He looked in the backyard and of a house, and he saw that there was a lot of barrels there, and they had like a little smokestack. So he reported it. He said, "Hey, there's something over at this house." Gave us the location. Ended up being a meth house, and so it was reported. PD went in, they busted him and shut it down. But it was simply because of the fact that I had an employee who's sanitation that saw that there was something different that shouldn't have been there and reported it, and ended up being a big bust for the police department. So those are the type of things that we're at. All of that will improve the city. All of that will try and help out. This is a culmination. This is the last thing that we're talking about here. But you see some of the things that have already happened. They had pictures of, as an example, Virtual Park. We put the fence up. The animal park and the dog park, we put the fence up, and we're looking at expanding the dog park during the next the next budget. But those are type of things. If you go out and you look at our water wells as an example, you notice that we've got a fence around, which is a white fence with a black cap. Again, the protection of that, but it makes it look nicer as opposed to a cyclone fence where everybody can see right through it. We're protecting it. It serves two purposes. One, from an aesthetics look. And the second thing is we're protecting that asset for the city. And so this is the culmination, and it's the last one that you'll find, but this is the culmination of work that's been done with Tommy Gonzalez. We saw all the goals that were presented, and then this is the final thing, but this is all a part of a big puzzle that we're talking about. I think that from what I've seen, again, we talked about it the first time where it's like your child is walking across the stage to get their diploma. Jaime and I felt the same way when we see these presentations being done by the staff, because they've taken ownership of this. And the conversation that they had with Tommy Gonzalez, sought that out and found it. Now they're excited about it. And you see that as they come up here and they're talking about it, and they're taking ownership. And the idea of the incentive program is something that the two of them will drive, but that's something I think is going to be highly encouraging for employees to try and do it. I've told them repeatedly, if you see a tree limb in the street, whose job is it to get it? And everybody says it's mine. And then every so often you'll see a city vehicle go around it because it's somebody else's problem. So one of the things that Tommy did tell us is if you incentivize them, then it becomes a part of that. And then all of a sudden it just becomes instilled in their DNA. I see a tree limb, I'm gonna pick it up, throw it in the back of my vehicle. Those type of things. So I think they did a great job, and the little things that matter are actually huge things that matter to the citizens.
I just have a quick question. So is this gonna replace our Evertown? Evertown kind of works that way?
Yeah,
So
it probably will.
Go away with Evertown and go
yeah.
with this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, well, because I think some of you have Evertel, some don't. But this is with the employees in the council, but it can be expanded out where the citizens can also report.
Okay.
Because right now in Evertel, it's just employees and council.
Are we paying?
We pay for that. It's primarily just kind of, so Evertel is a police app. That's what it is. It's a police app. But it was expanded to try to include the city in there. Worked out great for a period of time. And then we kept having to reset our passwords and we would lose it. And, so I can't get on my phone, all that type of stuff. But an app that we're looking at, which is very readily available for several different formats, would give us the opportunity that we can actually push the same app to the citizens and they can report it as well.
What's your target window? Realistic.
It's gonna take a little bit. I'm not
By the
gonna
end of
give
the
it.
year?
Huh?
By the end of the
Yeah,
year?
it should be, by the end of the year. The biggest thing I got out of this is, like I said, I've been here a long time and we were always divided as departments. And now we're a team. Before I didn't know these guys when I was over here on the police department. I didn't know Tito and I didn't know Greg. Now know them and we talk, and so now we're a team and not separated. And that's what I got out of this. We're a team and not individuals. And I think that we're gonna do good things.
So who's gonna be in charge of putting the QR codes out for the,
Once we get, ours is an email right now for the, we'll go ahead and go with the.
I mean, if you find a pothole, you put a QR code on it, they can take a picture.
There you go.
Thank y'all. I think it's a culmination, and I know, council decided last meeting, for Tommy's contract to expire but I want to say thank y'all to everybody that worked, together on this. I think it was a good collaboration and I think we got some good benefit out of that. And it's part of our master plan that we started, over 2 years ago? We had lots of public meetings and not so much a lot of people, but we started that process. So thank y'all.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate you. Brittany, thank you.
Thank you.
And I will let you know that I visited with Tommy, and so he understood about that. I did ask him, let's reserve the right to be able to, somewhere down the road, we gotta start taking a look at how we can still come in and maybe push it a little bit more, or maybe come in and do some fixing for us if we're kind of being led astray. Julian Hayes has been the one that's kind of taking it by the horn, and he's actually the one that's really gonna be pushing this and working through it. We did purchase some online system called Invisio, and you'll see that roll out. But what that will be is a dashboard where the council initially will be able to see where we're at with our with the strategic plan, the goals, and where we're meeting goals, and where we're doing that. So you'll see continued things happening with that. So this is not just the end, but we'll continue with it.
Thank you so much.
I just want to say I'm super proud to hear that everybody's working together because our citizens deserve that.
Good luck. Thank you, Council. Okay, moving on to item 7, we're gonna move into executive session. It is 6:57 PM. And we'll go meet the attorneys and we shall return. Yeah. Y'all ready? All right, I'd like to reconvene back into regular session from executive session at 7:57 PM. Do we have any business to take care of from executive session?
Mr. Mayor, I would like to make a motion to go ahead and set, resolution 2616, which is the, agreement between the city of Kermit and, Jaime Ramos, our assistant city manager, for a 2-year contract.
So that is actually item G under new business. So we'll skip down to that real quick and then come back. So the motion's been made to approve resolution 2616. All in favor? All right, do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so item G under new business is approved, and now we'll go back in order. I'm sorry. Okay. Any other business from executive session? So moving on, item 9 is our consent agenda. You have that in front of you. Your reports, I'll give you just a minute longer to kind of review over what you haven't. Or if you have any questions, you can bring them up at this time before we take a motion.
What is it? On the, accounts payable, what is Axon Enterprise? AXON,
Axon,
Axon.
That's our camera system for our units and our body.
Oh, okay.
What about the, on page 4, the flock group, flock C?
Well, that's our
Cameras.
LPRs, our camera system that we're using.
As well, okay.
when you may see it around town, where it's a trailer unit with a kind of folded up with the camera.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
flock unit.
Okay.
What department are Ariana, Neveretti, and Callie working on?
They're in the dispatch.
For the flock cameras, is that like per month or how? We have them rented, do we buy them?
That was a purchase, right?
Okay. We're still seeing a lot of gas meter.
It's
inspections.
declined. Like, we don't have near as many
Are you
gas
still
meters that we're
working?
expecting. No. Yeah, there's been a decline.
Any further discussion on the consent agenda items before I hear a motion? I have a motion to approve the consent agenda item number 9.
I make a motion if everyone's ready, reviewed.
A motion,
Except A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Second.
we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda items A through G. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Number 10, we're moving on to old business. So item A under old business is discuss and consider on second reading ordinance 2606, amending appendix A6.031, collection service within the city limits, and A6.032, collection services outside the city limits. Mike, you want to walk us through that?
Yes, Mayor and Council, agenda item A under old business is the collection rates that we had discussed last month. This is actually the second reading for that new rate increase that will be taking place. Of course, after the second reading, we'll post it twice in the newspaper and they'll become effective beginning only in the July billing, what we're looking at. So, and I'm available to answer any questions.
This is such a great, I make a motion that we, accept ordinance 26-06. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the second reading of ordinance 2606. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on. B, discuss and consider on second reading ordinance 26-07, amends chapter 12 utilities, article 12.04, which is a drought contingency plan, which is a water conservation and drought plan. It's required by the Texas Water Development Board, and if I'm not mistaken, helps us with our grant that we've applied.
Yes, Mayor. Again, this is the second reading for agenda item B under opening. And this is actually a part of the HB 500 that we've applied for, looking at applying to submit our grant for the water replacement line. We had to try and have a drought contingency plan and also a water conservation plan, which has now been submitted as a part of our process. This is just simply the second reading, which will amend the current ordinance, adding this now as a part of our.
Thank you.
I move to approve ordinance 2607.
A second.
A motion and a second to approve second reading of ordinance 2607 as presented. All in favor? Any opposed? That motion carried. We're now moving on to 11, new business. Item A under new business, discuss and consider appeal by Mr. Hector Garcia for the denial of an RV park permit located at 216 North Elm. Mike?
Mayor Council, this particular agenda item is a RV park permit that was submitted to the city. I believe that it was submitted approximately, I believe by April or May, which was past the December 31 deadline of 2025, which now put it under the new ordinance. And this particular piece of property is less than 1 acre. So for that reason, it was denied to be an RV park permit. A part of our ordinance also states that that they can come in and appeal to the council. And this is a process that we're at right now for that, is that they come to appeal the denial of the RV park permit for council. I'm available for any questions.
Is Mr. Garcia here? He'll come up, bud.
Hello.
I'll get.
So the RV parks they belong to my dad, and I've been helping him manage the RV parks. So we've been denied the permits. First on here it says the 216 North Elm. We actually have two other ones, and every time they would go inspect, they would call out for the hoses weren't properly installed for the drainage. I got that fixed, and so we were denied all 3 permits for 1 RV park. And we've never had any issue with the permits. We renew them every year with no problem. I guess there's been new ordinances, and they just at the time they didn't pass with the new ordinances.
And these remained active after the cease.
So what happened in this particular property at 216 North Elm, as a letter that you have in your packet states that code enforcement went out there on December the 29th and there were some violations. And they were required to get them fixed before December 31 in order to be able to have the application be valid and that full application to submit. When they went back out on April the 7th, the violation still existed. And so that was the reason that the park permit was revoked, which now put them back under the old ordinance. Under the new ordinance.
We've had some new tenants that they use their own hoses to connect to the sewer, and but I guess since the new ordinance had to have like a better drainage for the sewer line, and so whenever we've had new tenants, they use their own hoses, like the hoses that the RVs use. And so now, we switched to PVC for all the drain.
How many years in existence was the one on 216 North Elm?
How many years?
Was in existence?
Since 2018.
And it's passed every year up
Every year.
until this year.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Passed, right?
I'm not sure. I don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah, we've never had any issues, renewing the permits.
What about the one on 17 North Elm? How long has that been in
Uh,
existence?
It's up in about the same 2018. Yes.
Were the only violations the sewer hookups might be, you know?
The only thing that we've been given was that they failed to meet the required violation that they found to fix prior to the December 31st deadline date.
Which was in the letter, okay.
Yeah, and in April, when it was inspected, when they went back through it again, the violation still existed. So it was a violation that was found in December of 2025, and in April of 2026, the violation still existed and had not been fixed.
They fixed that?
Yes, yeah, everything's PVC. Like I said, we've had new tenants, they hook up their own sewer lines. And, but now that everything is PVC with the proper drainage to the city sewer.
How many do you have permitted on that spot?
There's 4.
Is that the way the process works? Is they come in before December 31st, do their application, fifth permit, and then we go check it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this was not turned in by December 31st.
It was, the violations found were not completed by December 31st. And so the application that they have to submit to us, we have to have an application, and the RB has to pass the inspection by December 31. On January 1, if the application has not been submitted and paid for, then it's considered to be not a valid RV park any longer. Or 2, there are violations that have been found and have not been fixed by that time frame, then it's found to be no longer an RV park.
Whenever we would fix the violations on one RV park, they denied us the permits for all 3 because of another RV park.
Well, I would venture to guess, and Chief can tell me that, we deal with each individual RV park. We don't lump them together and say, you failed this one, so you're gonna fail them all. We don't do that.
But
Each one of them,
Code stands for each one.
yeah,
So
each one
Two
stand on.
sixteen is one, 714 is one. If you had 312 South C, that's one.
Yeah,
They're
whenever
all
we came over here,
individual.
sorry.
She doesn't lump them. They're
Not
not.
each done individually.
Whenever we came to pay for the permits, they said that we couldn't get for all 3 of them. That's what we were told.
Well, and it could have been because you were still in violation of those 3. If those 3 were in violation, then that's probably why they said you could not get it for the 3. And of the 3 that you mentioned, 2 of them had violations.
Mhm.
So the third one.
The
we
third
did
one
find
is
out.
permitted.
I would assume so because it did not come before us.
Is the third one permitted, any of them permitted?
As of right now, no. But we were told that they were gonna inspect it, but they denied all 3 of them. And they told us what we needed to fix, and we fixed everything. We never got them.
And the appeal is only taking place on this one here. And then, of course, the next agenda item is the second one, but we've never received an appeal process for the third one.
And so does our ordinance say that? It's so once they're not in compliance that they automatically don't. It's done deal, it's closed, it's no longer eligible?
Based on the ordinance.
I wonder if we can start, 'cause I don't, since I've been on council, I've never heard a situation where they've been since 2018 and then he's probably one of the first ones, but can we not fine them maybe? Give them a fine instead of shutting the whole thing down?
If
I'm just saying, especially if they've been in existence since 2018, we've been in compliance up until, almost 8 years.
If the council chooses to go the route of amending the ordinance, we can bring that back to you as a possible change. However, this park permit, RV park permit is still before the council.
But it doesn't meet the 1 acre requirement,
No, it
correct?
does not.
No, but that's the new people that are starting new.
Right.
But the ones who are grandfathered in and have been in compliance,
or letting it expire. And then it falls underneath the less than 1 acre.
Where the, okay, the stuff that was, the inspection that was done on the 29th of December, was there ample time to get the violations repaired and updated in 2 days before December the 31st?
We'd have to go back and look at the records.
You know, I was just wondering, you know, if there was, if
But
the time element, you know.
They went back in April.
April, yeah.
Yeah, but then they went back and, you know.
I mean, you're talking 5 months later, approximately. It still hasn't been fixed.
Yeah, but that was what different tenants, but they use their own RV hookups.
It's still your RV park.
Yeah.
You gotta hold on, Liza.
So the matter on agenda item A is consider the appeal. If we want to look at the resolution, that'll have to come as a different, does that make sense, y'all?
Yes.
This is just for the appeal, and then if you want to advise staff to bring that resolution back in July.
Changes the ordinance.
Yeah, then we can look at that, but this one is just strictly, as we go through them, it's just gonna be for the appeal.
So are y'all still operating now as an
Yeah.
RV park, even though you don't have a permit?
Yeah, we still have, I still have my employees housed there. I provide housing for.
Yes, they're.
employees.
So it's operations.
Puts us in a really tough spot because we've told so many people no.
So,
Work adjustments.
so as of right now, we don't have any tenants with their own personal RVs. All the RVs, they belong to my dad, and he provides like, housing for workers out of town.
You're not supposed to do that.
Rent free?
No.
I mean, it's a
But you're not
business.
supposed to do that if it's not an RV park, it's a residential, then you're not supposed to have hooked up RVs.
Yeah, you have to have one.
You're not allowed to have hooked up RVs if you're not a park.
So otherwise, they're operating it more or less sort of like a man camp, so to speak.
Or a free for all.
It's your father's employees that
Yeah,
you're
all my
housing,
employees.
your employees that you're housing there instead of like individual, like Joe Blow and Jay Blow, and, you know, individuals renting
Yes, sir.
spaces from you on a monthly basis to park that are working for someone else.
Yes, sir.
That was.
Yes. And the Board of Adjustments have been getting it for months. That's mostly, James, is that mostly what comes before y'all at the Board of
Yes.
Adjustments?
They go past their expiration date?
Or,
They sold,
or they sold
Well,
to,
that makes sense. So it makes sense what we're saying, like, if they sold, we've already told them it was no longer an RV park, especially if it's not in the zoned area.
they've also came before us with, they just didn't comply with the permit. I mean, it's too late, the ordinance isn't set in motion. So we've had to deny them on Board of Adjustments.
based on the ordinance.
Yes.
Does anybody have a motion to move this forward, or it's a discuss and consider to be tabled? Brought back up if anybody has that motion and it's seconded, or you can make a motion and a second to handle this appeal.
Should we table and have code present?
Do you have any
Probably.
questions? Do you have any question for code?
Just as far as what they, I mean, their documentation for each step. I mean, that's,
And this already went to the Board of Adjustment?
No, this went directly to the council. Our ordinance states that any appeal in an RV park permit is appealable to the council.
So we just need to either disapprove or approve the appeal. All right?
It's either, if you uphold the appeal, then he's granted an RV park permit. If you deny the appeal, then the decision made by code enforcement to stop RV park is still upheld.
y'all have more questions to propose, or do y'all want to table it, or, yeah?
I would like to, table it, for the purpose of us being able to ask code what.
Yeah, because the Board of Adjustments has that courtesy. Code is always
And
present.
it could go for adjustments.
But while it's tabled, do they need to cease operation?
Yes. Yes, because they're not an effective RV park.
Right. Is
And
there
you're
active
not-
water
You're
there?
not allowed to live out of your RV in a residential area.
Is there active water on the property
Yes,
with taps for each RV?
no, no, just for the whole.
So how do you supply each RV with water?
I mean, whenever we made the RV park, they gave us the regulations and we had a licensed plumber, so,
But there's each taps for each RV spot,
uh,
4 spots in this one in particular.
no, it's the 1 meter to 1 meter.
1 meter and then they split it like a manifold.
Code
Yes.
back then before, but now under the new codes and everything, everybody, each RV has now, if you go to New Park, each RV has to have their own water.
Gotcha.
That could be a stipulation possibly, if you did want to do a fine. And then they need to come under the new, but if we let them come under the new, we're still under an acre.
Yeah, no,
So it's,
So you can't even do that.
so we can't do that.
yeah. I think we have to have more discussion, because it shouldn't become under the new, because he's past the, he did pass the deadline, I understand that. But he's still the same owner, the same,
It didn't close, so to speak, or change.
So,
ownership.
but it did close because of the non-compliance.
Right.
I would just like to see, I mean.
But they're still operating it.
Yes, they are.
Yes. Order to cease RV park operations. First legal notice.
Which I think that needs to probably be enforced right now until it.
Yeah, we were told that, we had to have the meeting first before we can,
Right.
And what's the date
so
on
everybody
it?
leave.
So there's 4 or 5 there. So I'm seeing 5 and then other equipment.
Okay, why did it take so long to get I mean, if it was just a small thing that needed to be fixed, why did it take so long to get it fixed?
Well, that's because they went to each RV park, but they denied all the permits to.
April 7th.
I know, but you could have,
Well, we fixed one and then they went on to the other one and, I mean, we fixed everything, but like they would come back a few days later and it was just.
Well, that's the process. In the end of the year, code goes in and it rechecks all the parks, the RV parks.
Correct.
To confirm that they're in compliance. Those that are not are held in violation until their permits will not be passed until you become compliant. And that was the case here.
So
They were not in compliance
when does code start?
the first part of December,
Okay.
or the end of the year, which gives them 30 days to meet their 31-day deadline.
The citation was April 7th. For the cease operation.
And that's when they were still operating. They hadn't passed the December violation. And they had already allowed the lapse. So therefore, the permit was no longer permissible. Which put them out of compliance.
Do we know what date was the inspection done on December 29th? Their inspection done on December 29th, the actual inspection.
On the 2nd.
on
December 2nd.
The first one was the first part of
Oh,
December.
okay.
And the second one was.
Then there was, okay.
Yes,
I want to make sure I have the dates down.
yes.
Okay.
So roughly 28 days.
Approximately.
So they received a notice on 12/2, they were out of compliance, another one on 12/29, and then the letter on 4/7.
Like that, for us to have had vote here.
So if you have that motion to table it, you're gonna have to extend that violation letter as well, I think. Because if not, if you don't extend the violation letter, then they have to cease and desist. So include that in your motion if you make a motion.
At this point in time, based on the ordinance, they are not viewed upon as an RV park. Based on the ordinance.
But then according to Honey, they were actually not operating legally if they were using it as employment.
And
Boy,
it's,
how-
So they're actually in violation up until permit.
and yeah, and I know what was stated here, but based on the agenda item only, it's because of the facts that they had not met compliance for the violations that were noticed by January 1. And then subsequent visit on April 7th found that they were still in violation. And so that is when they received a cease and desist letter. And of course, based on the information we found here, if they're using it as an office, then that will subsequently cause additional inspection on our part to make sure it can only be used as a residential occupancy type travel, either for work, whether it's vacation, whatever, but it can only be used as sleep quarters. And if it is zoned as an R1, then they cannot even use it for that. That's not a travel trailer, an RV is not allowed to be used as a residential location in an R1. In any residential, R1, R2, R3. So based on the information that we have, this would probably instigate additional inspections on our part.
So if we upheld if we denied the permit, what would be their action there? If we denied the permit, then it's voted on and passed.
If you deny the appeal or deny the permit. Okay, so if we deny the permit, basically you're upholding what the code enforcement had started the process on. And so they have to cease and desist in that operation. Of course, at that point in time, the only remedy for either party would be legal action. And all that to say is the council decision is final.
So then if we voted on it and it was, to deny the permit, then they would have to go under all the new zoning. They have to update all the new zoning codes.
Correct.
In their
But
property.
it's smaller than an acre,
Yeah.
so it can't.
They don't have an acre.
And while they could bring to code the fencing, the electrical pedestals, the water meter, the RV spot, it is still under 1 acre, which they can't get around that.
Yeah, which is what we deny on Board of Adjustment.
Right. We're on it.
Judge was the one that y'all denied last month at the Board of Adjustments. She was in operation for many years, correct?
Believe so, yes.
Yeah.
She had purchased the property, if I remember right, Mike?
And she was trying to open up as an RV park, but it was less than an acre. But she was seeking a variance of the acre.
Okay, the
Yes,
variance of the
that's-
acre is what she was.
See, I know we've come across those who have wanted to start in less than an acre, and then we've come across where there were some that didn't even have a permit, but was running off. Yeah. But this one I haven't seen, that's why I'm just not making a decision, because I haven't seen one that was running and past the date. I would like to know how many, if we have, had similar situation where we did shut them down because they didn't pass.
And
We've had them before,
We
yeah,
have,
And they just dissolved.
and they dissolved.
They dissolved.
Just
can you tell me about how many
that I know of two.
have been up and running for years, like
That
9 years?
according,
and there was one that had some RVs that we told them they couldn't have the RVs there, but they could put tiny homes
for,
there
for a trailer,
or a trailer. A regular size
Manufactured
trailer.
or manufactured home. Yes, ma'am.
And how many trailers could you put? They, of course, they have less than an acre, so.
Just one.
You can only put one.
It's an
Only
R
put
one.
One
one.
manufactured home. Yes.
So if you put a tiny home, you can only put one.
Correct.
Okay,
It's basically one residence per lot.
okay.
If they seek variance to rezone, it's gonna go to the Board of Adjustments,
To split the lot.
just the lot alone.
Any kind of emotion on item A?
I'm Kelsey, I would like to get hold here for the next meeting and make the decision. It's not on for records issue.
We have a motion to table item A under new.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, under new business. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second to table item A until the July meeting and request that code be here. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. I'm assuming you want to do the same thing on B?
Yeah.
Okay, I have to have a motion.
I'll make a motion to table item B as presented until next meeting with co-present for questions.
And you, give me the other ones.
I'll second.
Yeah, we'll see what we can find. We'll have to get.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to table item B until next month when we can have code present. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, so both A and B are tabled until the July meeting.
Third Thursday in July.
Can we, can I,
We
I
can
don't know if
reach
it's
out
the
if you
time to
want to
ask,
come back.
but maybe in that same meeting, discuss if we want to just find them. I'm scared.
Okay.
Find them if they own for so many years. Fine.
Well, what we can do is make our suggestions and give it to Mike and staff, and they can kind of draft that up as a consideration in July. Yep. I'll just send him an email once you, yeah.
Right, instead of like having them.
Mayor Council, the only question that still exists, which we didn't get anything, was tabling it. But as I mentioned, the cease and desist letter is based on the ordinance which was sent out. So at this point in time, are we still looking for a cease and desist? Or do you want to table everything, put a halt to everything? Because at this point in time, the cease and desist letter is still in existence and it's still valid.
Needs to be effective.
We do something, it's effective, yes.
But they didn't.
So
cease
no,
and desist.
So and again, if we leave it as is, and I just want to make sure we get the direction and consensus from the council. If we leave it as is, then they have to cease and desist
Immediate.
immediately. So the cease and desist letter is still valid, which means that they have to stop operations at the RV park. And then in July, we will consider the appeal again.
yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay, so neither one of those motions and votes affected the
Cease and desist.
violation, cease and desist letter. Okay. You want to discuss that with us? Cease and desist.
July.
And that also applies to Mario Garcia, right?
Yeah, it's on both of them.
Yeah. Okay. Mande. No tiene que hablar porque vamos a traerlo para casa en julio. La agenda item está.
¿Puedo hacerle una pregunta nada más?
Sí.
¿La situación del permiso de nosotros es la misma que ellos?
Sí.
Porque no sabía yo de esas nuevas ordenanzas que había. Realmente no sé si el agripar de nosotros ya fue inspeccionado porque no recibimos ninguna notificación acerca de eso.
Which one is hers?
Yeah.
We good to move on?
Yes, for Mario Garcia.
The next one is Mario Garcia. For 714.
But they tabled it and they didn't reconsider it and bring it back up. Is that what she's willing to do?
Well, she wants to know if hers was because she didn't follow the
For
order,
the same reason.
or is it, yeah, for the same reason, or?
You may want to,
Oh,
You
we
may
open
want-
that up for her to speak.
yeah, you may want to reconsider the vote for B.
Yeah, we didn't give them a chance to speak. It's two different owners. Okay, I'm sorry about that. We're gonna table the motion to table. I'm so sorry, y'all. So item B is to discuss and consider the appeal by Mario Garcia for the denial of an RV park permit located at 714 North Elm. Does anybody here present want to speak about that?
Yeah.
You mind if I?
Yeah,
help her out,
absolutely.
Translate.
No problem.
Yes, please, sorry. My English is really not good. Thank you. La secretaria me estaba explicando que iba a tener la oportunidad de hablar en la siguiente reunión.
Yeah, she also that she was gonna be able to speak at the next meeting, on this.
Pero le preguntaba, y es un poco vergonzoso para mí, porque la razón que yo pensaba que venía aquí era porque no pagué el permiso del RV.
She had a misunderstanding of why she had to come to this meeting. She thought she was here to because she didn't pay for the permits. And right now it's basically the same situation. She missed the deadline and their RV park falls into the same
Same.
ordinance.
Pero but now I heard about the new ordinances and I didn't know. So I just need to ask if the RV park, our RV park was already inspected. Because if so, we don't know if we have to make some changes. We don't know. We didn't receive any letter about that. We just received a letter about, because I forget to pay the permit. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Well, it tells you that here. So you miss it by December
Email
21st.
them here.
Hers was for failure to renew every permit.
Okay, so it wasn't for a code violation. Hers was just failure to, okay, that does, okay. So council, on this one, it was not a code violation. It was noted. It's strictly they missed the permit date.
She just missed getting her permit applied for, paid for, and registered, or
Okay,
Yeah, and the information
But
that
it's
she
like-
received states that all RV park permits expire on December the 31st.
Yeah.
And so she failed to renew the park permit, and I believe that it wasn't actually attempted to be paid for until April as well.
Was it inspected?
Inspection conducted on February 3rd, confirmed the permit had not been renewed. And then on April 7th, she received a notification that she was without a valid permit and in violation of the city code laws. And even by April 7th, she had not renewed the permit.
and so this park also somewhere around 2018, I think we said earlier, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and those permits renewed every year in December, is that right?
Yes.
Same owner? No. The same owner?
were there any,
Let me go,
Bill Mulvey.
Oh, my husband, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Were there any violations that, I mean, they were cited for that
I
they,
don't recall him.
okay, just
They
the
didn't.
permit was not filed for paperwork and put in place?
So I don't wanna speak for Higley because he's not here, but I've heard him say in other meetings that they're just going around inspecting all of them in town, and that's how we've caught different ones that have never been permitted. So on the February the 3rd, is it likely that just having to inspect this, even though she didn't apply for a permit?
Well, they do receive a list from the utility billing office of
Okay.
all the, so when you come in and pay for your permit, you go to the utility billing office and they have a list, they send out the letters, everything is there. So they know exactly who has not paid. So they get a list of that. So if you go and talk to Becky or Rachel, or I'm sure Norma has it as well, they know exactly who hasn't paid.
Okay.
And so, and understand that we have numerous parks here. And so that along with the other, just the regular code enforcement stuff, if you call it regular, that they have to do, it may take them a while to be able to circle back to all of the RV parks that exist in Kermit. And this one here, when they did the April 7th inspection, they found that it was still without a valid park permit. And I would note that the existence of this park was since 2018. They had to make payments every year on December 31st. And this year they forgot. Why that happened even in April, they still hadn't paid it.
And the citation clearly states immediately cease all operations.
Well, if you go down to C, application for renewal. Read that.
I'm sorry, Judy, which page are we looking
I'm on page,
3 of 6.
yeah,
Item C.
item C where it says application for renewal.
at? 120
Before
something,
December
Jim?
1st.
Did you find it?
No, we're going to the page number 124. See, okay, so yeah, 124. Thank you.
We did our inspection then on February the 3rd by this right here, correct? Said that an inspection was conducted by the code enforcement officer on February the 3rd, 2026. So that was the date that it was discovered that that permit had not been filed, correct? And then the last
Because
one.
they cannot pay their dues by December if it's. They can't pay their dues until it's inspected, right?
So where's appendix A?
It is located in the code of ordinances.
Right, let me pull that.
I'm assuming that there was and it's just an assumption, there was a code inspection and no violations were found in December. So
Okay.
therefore, they just waited until
Just missed. It
just thinking they're gonna go do the permit. And then once the list came out in January, then in February, they went and made sure that they had not renewed the permit.
We'll get that from code.
So if you get to the fee schedule, 83005 talks about the application fee. In this case, it'd be the 2 to 10 RVs, which is $550 per year. And if it's late, it's $25 a week.
Also, there is a.
So there is a fee schedule.
There is a fee schedule.
Are these letters mailed certified?
Yes.
So
And with the fee schedule, is there a date that they're no longer able to rectify to remedy the situation by paying a late fee? I don't know if appendix has that in there or not.
Mike, can you tell me again where?
The fee schedule,
Yes, sir.
it's A3005.
And currently, 005 for recreational vehicle parks. Or re-inspection fee, 30.
So here's where I'm at right now. So just looking at this and with that code being here and verifying. Okay, permits expire December 31st, 2025. Inspections have to be done before you are able to pay your permit, right? Inspection wasn't done, according to this document, February 3rd, 2026. Unless there was a prior inspection.
I thought that was a re-inspection was done.
That's why I was asking, did they just did the city voluntarily inspect this?
So to see how they missed the deadline of December 31st, 2025. And we're just making assumptions because we don't have code here.
So, correct, but according to the application here, they have to come in and say by December first, I'm gonna reapply for my credit.
It's a part of
By
the
December first, that's part of it. So on December first, they come in and say, okay, in writing, I'm going to reapply for my permit.
Okay,
See what I'm saying?
applications has
And-
to be submitted.
Correct, and
I
then from then, we by then have to do the inspections, and that's why the group up front calls code and says, okay, we have these 5 RV parks. You have to go and inspect them. And that's what they're gonna need. Because they have till the 31st in which to come in compliance of December. So code does their part to try to make sure that they are not hindering the process in which they have to come in compliance.
Yeah, I would like to see the paperwork on this.
Do we know if there was a request filed on December 1st for this particular property?
I'd have to go.
Okay. I think the table was on.
Yeah.
It's up to y'all. You have to make
Yeah,
a motion.
I make a motion on the table. What number are we?
B.
B.
Item B.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to table item B on the agenda as well. For the RV permit, same as the other one, the cease and desist letter is still in place. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Correct.
Okay. You have a motion. Do I have a second? Kelsey, just a second? Or
Roger,
Roger?
second.
So we have a motion and a second. Councilman Hayes, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, so A and B are both tabled until July,
Thank you.
but y'all do understand the cease and desist letter is effective immediately?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank y'all.
Thank you. We're still on this subject. Comment.
Sure.
I pulled up the ordinance 2304 that was adopted on October the 2nd, 2023, but I don't see the late fee schedule on it, just for we raised rates.
We may have taken the late fee out. We'd have to look at the minutes of the meeting and see if we took them
Could
out.
the staff please look into that?
And yeah, and I would tell you that if the ordinance doesn't say anything about a late fee, then the late fee was not amended.
Okay, so it stands at 25, it was not changed.
Yeah, it's very similar to
It's still on
the solid waste rates that you received from me.
Right.
What you got was only those portions of the ordinance that we were going to
Everything
amend,
else stayed.
not the entire ordinance.
Okay.
Can we research those minutes? See what we got? Good point.
And that's not a deal here about us time lapse, you know, you can't just, it's $25 a week.
Yeah, that's what I was doing the same thing about.
Okay.
Okay.
We got some discussion.
So we can send some information to Mike and staff for clarification by the July meeting. Moving on, item C, discuss and consider establishing the Building Standards Commission consisting of city council members as authorized by Article 4.04 in the City of Kermit Code of Ordinances. Mike, you want to kind of give us a color on this?
Mayor Council, this particular agenda item is moving in the direction as we had talked about when we budgeted in this fiscal year, the process of demoing substandard housing and those we consider to be dilapidated housing, which goes a safety to the public. And so by doing that, we have to establish a building standards commission, which is maybe duplicative, but the Building Standards Commission consists of the council. So what will start happening is that once we start having these houses, these buildings that we're looking at doing demolition on for following the legal process, we will convene a meeting of the Building Standards Commission. I anticipate will be right before a council meeting in order for the council to take up, or the Building Standards Commission to take up any housing or any buildings that we've seen if we deemed to have been dilapidated for the consideration of demolition and following that legal process of going through and demoing the building. So this is just coming in compliance so we can begin the process of demoing buildings.
So this language is already in the code of ordinances. It's
It is.
just never been created.
That's correct. If it may have been, I know that it doesn't exist currently. And I think since then, we probably have a new makeup of council. And so it's probably prudent for us to turn around and I would say we probably want to reestablish this every year and just continue to pass this ordinance and just increase the year of it.
Okay. So we have a motion, or I'm sorry, I'll hear a motion
I
to,
make a motion, we approve creation standard of building standards commission.
I'll second.
a motion and a second to create the Building Standards Commission as required by Article 404 of the current code of ordinances. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. D, discuss and consider resolution 2613, approving the proposals submitted in response to the request for proposals RFP by the Banking Depository Service.
Mayor and Council, you have before you an amended summary, which I provided to you, and the information that you received for your original packet was simply a placeholder because the bids were due on Monday and at 10 o'clock in the morning. And so when you received your packet information, because we had to post the agenda, we simply provided you a placeholder. But now you have the amended summary that I put before you. We did have two submissions, one being Citibank, second one being West Texas National Bank. The bid that we put out there, I can tell you that there was not a lot of difference between Citibank and West Texas National Bank. I think maybe the only difference that we have was the ability for us to do a little bit more online stuff with Citibank. But the fees are about the same. So our recommendation is to continue to stay with Citibank, which would include a 2-year contract with 3 one-year renewable options for a total of 5 years, which is the maximum amount that we can go out based on state law.
Move to approve resolution 2613, limiting the banking depository agreement with Citibank. And authorize the mayor to execute the depository agreement and all related banking documents necessary to establish and maintain the city's depository relationship.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve resolution 2613, which is the approval of the Banking Depository Service. All in favor? Any opposed? That motion carries. Diana, you need this one back?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. All right. Item F, discuss and consider resolution 2615, submitting city manager Mike Ayers Mendez as a qualified person for election to the Texas Health Benefits Pool Board of Trustees for Region 4. This position became open in the pool board. I thought that's when we just did.
We can go back to it, Mayor, if we want to go and take this up and finish this out.
I thought we just did.
We did 13.
I'm so sorry. Okay, we'll go ahead and do 15 and then we'll come back. I'm so sorry. Thank you. Anyway, this position became open and they reached out to Mike, and if nobody has any objections, I'd like for y'all to make that motion to him that we submit him as our qualified person for the Board of Trustees.
Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. We're currently, the health insurance plan that we switched to is Texas Health Benefits, but because they are kind of a quasi-state entity, and under the TML pool, they have representation from each region, and we're in Region 4 with all the cities. And they have a board of trustees that review the actuarials for the region, prices, pharmacy, everything for the benefit plan for municipalities that are in the TML Health risk pool. I'm sorry, TML Health Benefits. So what this is a opportunity for government to be represented as we begin to start talking about health benefits, pharmacy costs and stuff, and that's what this is. I believe for a period of 4 years. 4 years.
I'll make a motion, we approve resolution 2615, authorizing submission of city manager nomination and any supporting documentation required for consideration by the Texas Municipal League Health Benefits Full Board of Directors representing Region 4. I'll second.
Motion and second to approve resolution 26, submitting Mike Ayers Mendez as a qualified person to be elected to the full Board of Trustees for Region 4. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Dinah, did I make the right motion on 2613 or did I say 2614?
You said 2614.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I didn't mess that up too. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. Going back to item E, is discuss and consider resolution 2614, which is authorizing the addition of the assistant city manager as an authorized signer to the bank depository account and to authorize the execution of all necessary banking documents and signature cards. This is just to kind of clean up.
I'll make a motion to, accept, agenda item E, making Mike,
This would be for us. That's if it's sitting.
I mean, for Jaime, not Mike, for Jaime, to oversee. See, we're on E,
Correct.
Yes.
the bank depository account as presented.
I'll second.
And we have a motion and a second to add the assistant city manager as an authorized signer. All in favor? Any opposed? That motion carries. Sorry about getting out of order, y'all. Thank you. Okay, we approved G as we came out of executive session. So H is to discuss and consider resolution 2617, adopting the fiscal year 2027 investment policy for the city of Kermit. And you have that packet in front of you as well.
Mayor Council, I can tell you, there's nothing changed on this. But in order to be able to start submitting documents, as we had talked about with the various bond rating agencies, we also want to be able to let them know that the city has also already approved fiscal year 27 investment policy. There's no change to it, but it's also a signal to the bond rating agencies that we are looking at keeping our finances in order.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2617, adopting the investment policy.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second to approve resolution 2617, which adopts the fiscal year 2027 investment policy for the city of Kermit. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carried. Item I, discussion regarding city police department take-home vehicle policy, including off-duty use of city-owned vehicles, and possible direction to staff. Council, any input? Do you want anything from Mike or Jaime? So my take on it, it's kind of one of those gray areas. We do have a policy in place that we put in, I think, last year for the allowance of take-home vehicles up to a 50-mile radius, I believe. I feel personally that it's added to our recruitment of officers, the quality of officers that we have. I think we have a waiting list now of people that have applied or want to apply. So I think what's come into play is seeing these vehicles worked on, security details or traffic control during construction or things of that nature. So I think that's why this has come up. There's been no violation of the vehicle policy that I know of, but it's just kind of a discussion in any kind of direction y'all would like to give to staff going forward.
Well, when I was out campaigning, I had a lot of people comment and talk to me about it. We had, somebody saw one of our vehicles out in Orla. Well, that's way past the 50 mile. And going out 302, I don't know. This is what some man told me.
Yeah, normally the police department is very good about letting them know where their security jobs are.
Mhm.
I don't think we've had anybody in Orla.
I've heard of some on I-10 in Fort Stockton in construction. Stanton, I-20 in construction. I was sent a photo of that one. When we discussed it, we agreed that it was okay for them to stop at the store for milk on the way home, not do security details on Kermit's taxpayer dollars. I understand the benefit of having them there. There's an accident between here and Odessa in the construction, and they were there and able to help the people and guide the people. And that situation I'm thankful for. But I also think that it's potentially being abused, doing detailed jobs in Fort Stockton, Stanton, Orla.
Yeah, I can tell you that I do want to clarify a statement that it's on Kermit tax dollars. They're not on duty when they're on city payroll or city hours.
Right, I mean the
And
fuel.
so- and
I
so-
mean the fuel and the lease payment.
Yeah, and I can tell you that I personally have seen a city of Kermit police vehicle in Odessa directing traffic, but they're still within the 50-mile radius. And I have seen them in Odessa.
Right.
That I do know. And I guess the question comes in, when we're talking about fuel, I don't know how we gauge that. I don't know how we would be able to calculate the fuel cost if they're just sitting in place for an hour, 2 hours. I've had people trying to say, I don't think it's right that they're doing traffic control on 302. Well, the individuals doing traffic control are those individuals that live in Odessa and they stop there on their way home to do traffic control, then they go on. And so, I mean, I think if there's a way, if the council is interested in me trying to find a way that we can calculate that from a fuel cost standpoint, you know, we would venture to go out and try to see what we could find and bring something back. I don't know if it's gonna be a large dollar amount that's being used and how we would do that. If it's gonna be reimbursed back to the city, we take it out of their check. I don't know how we do that because they are being paid for their services in the security aspect.
Right.
So
So what is the liability to the city? Say they were going out somewhere and they get involved in an accident.
On days off or what?
On
Or
security
on
detail.
Not when they're doing their
Off-city.
security, yeah, when they're
Okay,
doing
so
their security.
a lot of these gigs that they're doing like on the highway in Odessa on 302, they're under the umbrella of the insurance of the people that hire. So let's say you hired them to provide you security on 302, you have that insurance. They're under that umbrella when they're doing that.
So, but they're making a 1099 check off of it, right?
They
It's a
would be.
contract job.
They would be, yes. But they're
So,
still under the
but that's not
contract.
insurance, under contract work, guys.
Yeah, they would be-
That's all I
There
do.
would be from a security aspect.
From a yes, ma'am.
We would fall under their liability policy.
They don't have to come through yard to tell you, hey,
Can I do this?
Yes.
You're still
They do.
faster
Anything
than
over
someone.
50, they have to come to us. Anything over 50.
And have they?
Now, I know that we've sent officers to training in Fort Stockton, but not security kids. I
That's
have
just
sent them to
transportation.
Fort Stockton because Fort Stockton had some training at the PD, and we sent officers there. I've sent them to Midland for training, but not security. Now, I know they do it in Odessa, but that's within our 50.
So is there a way we can establish more control?
I mean, it's in there, sir. It's anything over 50 has got to be approved by either the A chief or myself.
So if a photo is submitted and they're outside that 50-mile radius, then we have an issue. If there's some way to verify that.
Unless the
Unless it
A
had
chief
been
approved.
approved. Yeah.
Now, if he
Gotcha.
approved it, then I have to say he approved it.
And then since we're obviously not the only city doing this, Mike, can we direct staff to see how other cities are being reimbursed? How the fuel, how the whatever may be taking place? 'Cause like I said, as of right now, unless we have some other proof, there's been no violation of the policy. I think council is all in agreement that there needs to be some tightening of the oversight and the reimbursement.
do they take them home on their days off?
Yes.
The units, yes,
And we have plenty of units.
yes.
And during, like security detail, do they use KPD gear or do they?
Yes, full gear.
So I guess that's a great point. When there's security detail needed, as an example, the ISD is a fine example. They actually, they paid the off-duty officers for their time there. So we don't have on-duty officers that are working ISD functions. They're off-duty officers that are working.
They have escorted on a couple of trips this year. They asked the officer to escort them on. So in that case, we have.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with that.
So I don't speak for council, but I'd like to direct Mike and staff to reach out to some of the other cities in the area that are actively involved in the same thing. See how the fuel and different things are being done, and then just some sort of a reaffirmation that the greater than 50 miles is being adhered to and all that.
Yeah, the ones I had, they said they saw one of our vehicles over the horseshoe. Sure, they were probably doing some kind of security, but that would be within the 50 miles. So I told them it was the 50 miles we could do. And they said, well, if the car's running and all that and the gasoline, I said, no, I'm not really sure how we're looking at that, honestly, we could do that. But I know horseshoe, and then somebody said that they were helping with directing traffic over and some construction at an overpass on I-20 somewhere.
Yeah, and as I said, I personally have witnessed a city of Kermit vehicle off of I-20, but it was located in the city of Odessa.
Okay.
Cause that was what I made note of.
They just said it was on I-20. They didn't say Midland, Odessa, Abilene, or what, they said where they were helping with, where they had redirected traffic. And I'm sure it was one of our off-duty officers.
Well, and this is new territory for us.
Yes.
You know, we at one point didn't even have enough vehicles for the officers, even when they were on duty. On duty. So this is kind of, we need to figure it out.
We can go,
Put some
we can
stuff
go
in
out
place.
and get some information on other policies, but in this stuff.
Just kind of see what everybody else.
And I just want to say too, like, it's a concern just because of the fuel price. This year has went up so much, and I know we didn't.
But it's coming down. It's coming down. I paid $3.14 the other day.
It is, but it's been up for months that we didn't budget for it to be up so high, so thank you for.
And I appreciate you saying that, because I can tell you that when I budgeted for fuel for this fiscal year, I budgeted on the price of $2.89 a gallon. Back then, it was still kind of high, which I thought I had some wiggle room in there, but then with the Iranian war, it definitely blew that out.
It was a conflict. We didn't have too many diesel vehicles.
Okay, so that was a discussion item. We'll move on to that to item 12, which is any item from council, city manager, assistant city manager. Jaime, we'll start with you and go around the room. You have any comments or concerns?
Appreciate everybody and your support.
There, I was just notified by Chris Isabel, he did have a comment he wanted to say to the council, so.
You'll love it.
I think he's asking, if we can go back to the public comments, or you make that comment.
I don't know if I can go back, but I can yield my time to him. How's that? That way we don't violate any.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
You.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council, and Chief Ramos. On behalf of Back 40, we wanted to express our sincere appreciation for KPD. Recently, we had an individual in our establishment, and he was highly intoxicated, under the influence, and caused a volatile scene that threatened the company's safety and our staff and customers. We called for help, and the response from KPD was incredible. They were there quickly. Responding officers handled the situation with total professionalism. They de-escalated the disturbance and immediately restored safety to the business. As local business operators, we're deeply grateful for the dedication and swift action of our local law enforcement. So thank you, Chief Ramos, Officer Wester, and Officer Maldonado. Is that how you say that? And thank you to the entire department for keeping Kermit safe. Thank y'all for your time.
Thank you, sir. I'll yield my time to you for that.
Thank you, sir. Mayor, of course, just a couple of things that are obvious. Of course, I do want to just kind of mention, the seal coat went great. I can tell you that, we covered a lot of territory. They came in Tuesday about 10 or so when they finally got started, somewhere in there, 10:30. About 2:30 or 3, they were done, and they moved on now to a different city. So this company that came in, they were quick. Man, they knew their stuff and they got in and out. So we're pretty proud of the seal coat that we did. we still have to go back now and paint some of the lines that existed prior to at some of the churches that did have either handicap parking or parking lines. So we'll make sure we get our striping machine over there. I think we're looking at ordering the paint. I'm not sure if we did or not, but we did. Okay, so we have the paint now, so we'll be able to go out and start doing that probably starting next week. Our warning signals are in, the sirens are in. We did make sure that we got the lunch siren put back in place.
Thank you.
So that was one of
2
the,
days of lunch.
that was the key to the, I told them it was a deal breaker. If they couldn't do the warning siren, we weren't gonna pay for it. But they did. The only thing we have left is, I will let you know that prior to the controller was located in the closet that was located in the police department. We've now moved that to the dispatch area. So dispatch has immediate access to the controller, set it off if they need to. And it's all located within there. So we did do some, we figured were some improvements by doing that. Everything's in place. We will have an app that will be given to only certain individuals that they can set the alarm off if they need to. So, example, probably Jaime, a chief, myself, and probably Luana will have access to that app to set the alarms off in the event that we need to. There is still the FCC license. Once we finish getting that, because they had to turn around and let them know that the system's put in so they can finalize the FCC license. Once they get that, they'll come out here and they'll go in and fully program the controller. It's partly programmed now, but it'll be completely programmed in with the FCC now in place, and we'll have to display the FCC license. So pretty proud of the warning sirens. They are loud.
Yes.
You can hear them. That's not a problem. Yeah, I think Miss Hope has one over there near her that is pretty loud now.
Yep.
Of course, current celebration days, we have announced the bands. We got what I consider to be excellent response from the public. A lot of people are excited now about the bands. Tomorrow, no, I think she did it today. The list and the times of all the bands has been released. Okay. So now everybody knows who's playing on Friday, who's playing on Saturday. Because there were some questions in there about, when does, example, Gary Hobbs, when does he play? So we kind of said we're gonna let the tension sit out there for a little bit, and then we released it in a week and told them when it's gonna play. So we're pretty proud of that. I can tell you that the team has been excellent. I don't think I have to tell you more than that. They've been excellent. We were kind of conscientious with them these last couple of days because of the heat, and making sure every time I would see somebody out, I said, man, make sure you're drinking plenty of water. And I think that Jaime and Alfredo and Greg were making sure that they were all following up with them to make sure that they were doing that, because it was the last couple of days pretty much a scorcher. So that's all I have, and I just appreciate the support and the confidence that you've instilled in my executive team to move forward. And we continue to hope to look to see for additional things we can keep doing.
Makes sense. Ms. Judy?
I just want to thank y'all, let y'all know I appreciate over on our side of town. I've seen that they even got all of them on all the potholes on our street. We had a bunch, but they were all over at that side of town. Last couple of days, filling in all the potholes and everything.
Not across the tracks.
I know, we've got to get over there.
We keep ignoring that side of town.
I do not ignore it. I am always over there.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Streets look awesome. Seal coat was definitely worth it. Code enforcement is definitely handling the headache after all the rain. You guys just keep going.
That's great.
Just want to thank the whole team. Everybody's doing good. You go out during the day and you just see trucks everywhere. Everybody's just busybody. I look like ants, and we appreciate y'all's hard work. Also, just a reminder to keep the firefighter from Odessa safe. We're in your prayers and his family.
Thank you. Ms. Kelly?
I want to say that I've thought about this very seriously, and I don't say this lightly, that we may need to repeal our no trucks in town policy, because the county is not meeting us in keeping our truck route good enough to use. I know that's a real step back for us, but the county is doing a very, very poor job at maintaining the truck route. And if they can't meet us halfway to take care of those things, keep the truck route usable, I don't know that it's fair that we're asking people to use it. So you have a chance to drive out there, maybe talk to your commissioner and urge them that the truck route needs to be fixed for us to maintain the no trucks in town. If we could please do that. I don't know where else to start, but I know it's not fair to ask people to go tear their equipment up every day to not use state highways that come through our town.
I'll agree with Kelsey on that one. Had a couple of things. If we could, the potholes on East Avenue. There's after the rain and all, but they're just getting worse. And I want to commend the KPD on apparently the investigation and the work they did, that they apprehended the two guys out here at the man camp on 302 that were registered sex offenders that had not registered. Apparently, they said they had 51 prior addresses that they had to check. I mean, it was something else. So they did a great job there. Seal Coat project is absolutely great. Any kind of an update on the animal shelter?
We, again, Julian has now been able to go back to it and start doing some more work. He was going to work on the
Bathroom, the washroom.
bathroom and the washrooms and get that done.
We're waiting on electrical.
Okay.
He framed it out, but he was waiting for the electrical
Okay. I mean,
completed before he can go ahead and close.
that's good. And then on the grant program, I had somebody, okay, they're interested in doing something. Do they have to get their bid? What it's gonna cost to do
For the Revive program,
Uh-huh.
yes, they have to submit 2 bids.
2 bids.
And then, and kind of a diagram description of what they're wanting to do. There's some other requirements from a paperwork standpoint.
Yes.
And once they do all that, they have to give us before and after pictures.
Mhm.
So we can see what it looked like before and what it now looks like after. Those applications, I'm glad you mentioned that. We had an economic development MDD meeting on Monday. And so they approved the very first application for the Revive program for the car wash. And so she came in, submitted what the bids that she had, and they approved it. And so now she'll go and get the work done and bring us back the after pictures with the receipts. And at that point in time, it's 100% reimbursement.
Are those online, your applications for the Revive program?
I don't know if they've got them online. I can have Julian and Sarah read
I
one.
think he said he'd have to provide them to him.
Yeah. Right now, I know Julian's been providing, but Julian went out and he printed like, I don't know, 50, 60 copies and he went door to door handing them out. So I think he skipped all the council members.
He brought me one.
Yeah, so he went out, and hit all the businesses.
And let's see, there was that and the only other thing was I want to recognize our executive team. I think they're doing a heck of a job, and Norma, Diana, Mike, Jaime, Grego, Greg, the mayor.
And Emmy.
I mean, everybody, it seems like things are running smooth and I'm not hearing negativity. That's good. When you don't hear negativity, seems like things are going in the right direction. That's all I have.
Okay, and I yielded my time to Chris, but there is a open house at the Diamondback Solid Waste Facility on June 25th. You're more than welcome to go. And Reclaim Kermit is this weekend.
Yes.
Yes. So if you're available, please spread the word. And other than that,
Make the motion, we adjourn.
a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. Ms. Hope, thanks for the silver hair update.
Yes.